Greetings, this is Life is Feudal. I'm Happy Wolf. I'm going to give you a quick little crash course tutorial since this game is confusing as F and every little help is going to help. So, first things first, let's go over the UI and how to control it. Tab. Tab is going to be your best friend. Pushing tab releases your mouse. Pushing tab again locks your mouse so that you can look around. Tab, 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 tab. You're going to be using it a lot because when you go into your inventory, which is I, you need to move stuff around. There is no grid on this inventory. Everything is loose. It's just like old school Ultima Online. To open your paper doll is T. I don't know why it's T, but you can change it. So the first things first, let's get our greasy mug clothed. It'll take a couple of seconds as you put on your clothes and kind of slap yourself on the shoulders. There, don't have to look at that greasy back anymore. So let's look at what else we've got here. We've got your health, we've got your endurance, we've got some hotkeys, I'll explain those later. I've got a paper doll here, which I do not know what it does yet, honestly. But you're not going to need that for getting yourself set up. We've got chat, which is located in local, global, and system. Most of the time you'll probably want to keep it on global just so you can see who's there. But otherwise, if you want to see if you are succeeding or failing in any of your actions, you're going to want to keep it on system. So let's see how to actually do stuff. You're probably going to want to be in mouse look mode and also in first person mode. You can swap between first person between pushing C. Bop, 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 bop. This way you can get a good close view of what you're actually pointing your mouse at. And the first thing you're going to want to grab is... Oh, you know what? Let's go over these menu first. These categories all correspond to different traits. Not traits, but actually skill groups. If you push L, then you can see all the skill groups. The top is prospecting, then going down forestry, nature's lore, terraforming, farming, and then you have some general stuff at the bottom. There's your skill book. So remember that books have multiple pages. You can look at the other pages just by going to the next page. Second page is combat skills, which many of which of these is not implemented. Let's see. And then we have general skills on the next page after that. The only which have implemented is general actions, which looks like the only thing it lets you do is carry more stuff and be faster. So through most of this early alpha build, you're going to be looking at your crafting skills and almost nothing else. Now about the crafting skills, I'm going to show you the logging path, since I am at least most familiar with that and I know how it works. The other ones work similarly, but mining might be a pain in the butt since you have to do a Marco Polo type of search for ores, and I haven't really gotten into that yet. But to at least get you started, I'm going to show you how to forest, I'm going to show you how to log, I'm going to show you how to build some basic stuff. Or at least get started, because you're going to need somebody to learn how to do some smelting and forging and make you some nails and iron sheets. But let's go over the basics. So, you see that each of these skill categories down the line has their levels separated from 0, 30, 60, 90, and 100. Once you get your skill to the next threshold, you can do what it says. So at level 0, I could gather some sprouts, and I can inspect trees, gather sprouts, branches from trees. You're going to need those branches to make your first primitive tools. At level 30, I can plant softwood trees so I can get renewable wood. At 60, I can plant hardwood trees so I can get renewable hardwood. At 90, I can do more. I can plant more. Plant small, big ones, small, big ones. Okay, so that's what that is. I even haven't even looked at all this stuff yet myself. Anyways, as you go on, once this gets to level 30, you unlock logging. Logging is cutting down trees. Once you get logging to 30, you can uproot stumps. Once you get logging to 60, you can chop down hard trees. So you only need to unlock it at all so that you can chop down softwood. In order to get to carpentry, you need your logging at 30, and you need your forestry at 60. So you'll have to go 60, 30, unlock carpentry. So let's show you how we're going to actually do that. First thing we're going to do is we're going to need to get our basic stuff. Click on the ground. It's always right click. Right click will give you your context sensitive menu. We're going to look at nature's lore, which is your basic foraging skills. We're going to get some plant fiber, and we're going to go through a quick little animation where you're just punching the ground with your bare fist. Hopefully we'll get some grass. Now I've already picked up some basic materials to make this with. So I'm going to show you how to make a saw. Once you have the stuff that you need, for most of the primitive tools you're going to need some flint, you're going to need some branches, and you're going to need some of that plant fiber to tie it all together. The branches are the key item. You want to right click those and click on primitive tool. You'll get a blank menu like this, with the pull down menu at the top. Click on it, choose what you want to make. If you're going to be chopping down trees, you're going to want to make an axe. It shows you exactly what you need. If you have them, then you can just craft it and do it. I've actually already got an axe, so I'm actually going to make a saw. And it looks like a machete, but trust me, it's a saw. So you just craft it, it pulls it right out of your inventory. It takes a couple of seconds. Just like that. Done. I now have a saw. So my saw is in my inventory. The axe that I've already made is in my inventory. I can go ahead and close the skill book for now. Since we now know how it works, I probably won't be opening this again. If you want to explore it later on your own, go ahead. There's wikis, there's people that you can ask in chat rooms, you can log into a server and just ask. Everybody seems to be pretty helpful. It's a very good community. So in order to equip your stuff, just take your axe, put it on your paper doll. I always put my big items on my back. These two items on the top are your back left and right items, which would be like crisscrossing them. If you want double swords, you can put them both in the back. If you want like a Zweinhander, you can put it on your back. These two on the bottom are your hip items. I usually like to put things like knives in there since they look cool, they're smaller, they look better. So let's close that. Let's close that. Now another thing you're going to want to know is where am I going to get the flint? The flint you should go in the slightly rocky areas like this. It's getting kind of dark now, I can't really see. But if I right click on the ground here, I go to prospecting. You want to go to search for useful flint stone. Click it, you do the little charging menu. Loading, loading, loading. If you look in the bottom right corner of the screen, you will see the system menu and it says you have received 1 flint. Alright, cool, I've got some flint. So it is getting dark, so I'm going to try and finish this up nice and fast. I now have my axe equipped. I can just walk right up to a tree, right click it, go to logging, and cut it down. If I needed some branches, I would want to go to logging and get a branch. And there it goes! It only took 1 shot. The tree model will disappear. It'll leave behind a log. If I want to, say, like, actually take this to somewhere where I'm going, I will lift it, pick it up, and be slow, slow, slow walking, holding it on my back. I cannot run any faster than this. So if I were to say want to build my house over on the beach, I probably won't because it's far away and it's just getting darker and I need to wrap this up, don't I? Let's put this down. Let's drop the object. There it is. Oh no, actually I have to place it in a crafting system. I really wish I can raise it. Oh, it floats in the air. This way you can at least get a nice little graphical. You can make a log pile. Just place it. It's got a quick load. So I can make it look nice. Now, if I'm going to want to actually cut this up, I'm going to need my saw. Let's equip the saw on the other side of my back. And you know what, while we're at it, let's go ahead and make a knife. A primitive knife only needs 1 stick and 1 flint. That'll be useful if I ever want to stab a guy. I'm sorry you can't quite see anything on the actual game, but you don't really need to see too much since it's mostly through menus that we're going through stuff here, and the graphics are just like, you know, pretty stuff. So if I click on the log, which you can barely see now since it's so dark, and I can saw out some stuff. Now if I were to do some carpentry, this is like the default action. If I want to do something else, like saw out a board, and I want to do that again the next time I do it, you can right click that and it changes the default action. Now the next time I clicked on that without bringing up the menu with a right click and just hitting it with a left click, I will just do what I just told it to. So let's saw out a board. Saw. There. Now I'm going to saw out another one because I've got room in my inventory. You see the boards show up in my inventory right away. So I got 2 boards out of that 1 log. I'm actually going to take these down to the beach since it's a little bit brighter than the dirt. And you can kind of see what I'm doing over here. Now if I were to click on the bottom here, and I go to construction materials preparing, I go to create, and I can make a furnace. If I were to do some other things such as say carpentry and construct some furniture, I could make a chair, a table, a bench, a bed, a weapon rack, a chest, a crate, a barrel, alchemist table, a workbench, all kinds of good stuff. So let's say I just want to make a crate. Just a crate out here on the beach. I can use this cool little menu to move where I actually want it. This way, left or right. I can spin it around. You can kind of see that I'm spinning it around there. And build it. So I'm going to do a quick another little loading bar animation. And when that finishes up, a signpost will appear where I told it to build. Too bad it's so dark, you won't actually be able to see it, but this is going to be where we start putting our materials that we want to build it with. So you can kind of see that here. It's got a white X on it. It's just a sign. It's just there. So you right click on the sign with the X on it. You can see it a lot better when I've highlighted it. Good. Construct the furniture. So in order to build this crate, I only need 4 hardwood billets. Now that means it's going to be kind of an advanced construction object, since hardwood is better than softwood. I never actually planned on getting this one made, and I really doubt, knowing this now, that this will ever get made. But you know, I'm just trying to show you what it actually takes to get something built. And boy, does it take a lot. Crafting is so in-depth and detailed on this. Now, one last thing before I leave you, and you guys can get started on your own, experiment, see what's going on. I'm going to show you the quick little combat stances. So let's open this up. Let's put this knife over here on my hip. Here we go. Put it on my hip. So I'm now equipped with the stuff on my back. You can see now why I said it was about crisscross when you have 2 things on your back. If you push R, you can ready yourself into combat mode. And the music changes, and it's all scary. And I'm going to attack some fish out there in the ocean, but I don't actually have a weapon drawn. If you see on the quick bar, there is a left and right on hip weapons and a left and right on shoulder weapons. I can actually push the R, which is 4 for the back weapon, and draw my axe and attack somebody with my axe. Or I can push 3 and draw my saw that was on the left side and attack somebody with my tree cutting saw. Or my knife, which is on my right hip, which would be 2, and pull the knife all flourishy out, stab with it, kill some guys. So if you noticed, when I was standing still, I swipe it like that. When I'm moving the other way, like if I'm moving forward, that's a different attack. It doesn't seem like there's too many animations yet, but the animations do change depending on your position. I don't know. I could be wrong. One last thing I'm going to show you before you go. I know, that's even another thing. If you are in combat with somebody, or if somebody's in combat with you and you want to get the hell out of there, there is a button on 5 and 6 by default. I will show you 6 first because it is hilarious. If you think you're going to lose and the guy's going to kill you, you can surrender.
No more, I yield.
Yes, you yield. It locks you down. You're at the guy's mercy, and if he were to actually kill you, he would get a reputation hit. The really interesting thing about Life is Feudal is that when somebody actually does kill you and you have yielded, or he killed you for no reason, or he killed you instead of knocking you out, or he knocked you out and then killed you, just, you know, wanton murder, they start to become known as a murderer. Of course, right? Who knew? Who thought it? Now, if he starts to get 30, I believe it's not 30, it's 50. If he gets 50 negative reputation, then he becomes a murderer that everybody can see forever. It's not recoverable. Come on, I want to move now. I want to get up. That's the long thing here. Okay, here we go. I'm standing up. This game right now, it's kind of server based. It's like Minecraft where you put up a server and you just host it for people and they can just come and join it however they want. This is a precursor to an MMO. If this does well, the MMO is going to take off. The MMO, you buy the game, you get one character. That's it. If you become permanently branded as a murderer, then you are permanently branded as a murderer. Hopefully this curtails random PKs. The other thing you can do if you're in a fight and you think you're about to lose is you can get the F out of there. The other one here is 5. It's a sprint. It gives you 30 seconds of higher speed running. So here's regular speed running. I'm going to sprint. Come on, I'm going to sprint. There, now I'm sprinting. I'm really hauling ass too. The thing about it is that during the sprinting time and for about twice as long afterwards, after it's done, it is the only thing you can do. You cannot say, wait, maybe I can fight this and turn around and redraw. No, you cannot do anything. You see this icon that's on the top up here? That looks like a ninja star? It means disabled. You cannot do anything. You can only walk. So use that very sparingly. If the guy has a horse, which they're not going to in this alpha, probably get away. So that's the basics. Experiment. I'll go ahead and open up the skill tab again. Pick your path, because you only have 600 stat points to distribute along your crafting professions. And 600 extra for combat, and pretty much your general stats you can just do to max. But you're definitely going to want to join a settlement. because you are going to want to specialize. Being a jack of all trades is not going to be that great because all the good stuff is at the end. And in order to get all the good stuff, you have to specialize. Because you have to get this to 60 to get that to 30, and if you want to get that to 30, you've got to get that to 60 or even 90. I don't know, we'll see. But you have to spend 500 points to max out one crafting profession, and that's 500 out of your possible 600. Some of this other stuff here, like mentoring, maybe arts, jewelry, I don't know, fishing and hunting. These things are going to take up those points as well. That is if you're doing the basics standard stat allotment server. Because there are servers that have higher and you can just learn everything. But 600 is standard. Plus, by the way, it is not 600. It is 600 plus your intelligence. And that's why mine shows as 630. So you guys go ahead, experiment, have fun, build a bunch of stuff, build a castle. Once they implement it, you can build some catapults, have some wars. I mean, the game's going to be PvP only. There's no PvE. It's going to be all politics and crafting and PvP. You make stuff, you build a settlement, somebody else gets jealous, wants to steal your shit. You know, fights are going to break out. Land battles, land wars, land contesting. You know, oh look, he's got all the ore. I want it. I can't build shit without it. He's in that mountain. I'm going to be dwarf fortressing this. I'm going to be going into a tunnel and carving out a big dwarf fortress. So, again, I'm rambling now. I will let you guys go. This is Life is Feudal. If it comes out as an MMO, that'll be really keen. Keen, that's a word you don't see that much. Good luck, guys. It's confusing, yes. And it's going to be slow to get the stats up. But go with some friends. Plan ahead. You can get some fun out of this. This is definitely a crafter's game. So, take care, guys.